Welcome into another episode of Make the Cut with Ochs Napo, brought to you by our good friends over at Wisconsin Sports Heroics. I am Ochs. He is Napo. We are pleased to welcome you into another rendition of the show here. We have a lot to get into. We're going to be wrapping up the All-Star break, talking about the upcoming games for the Bucks, including the game against the Knicks and a couple against the Wizards. Continuing our segment on Eddie Lacy's top 5 career games, voted on by you guys over at Twitter. Before we get into that, Napo, let's talk a little bit about what you're wearing today and how your weekend was here. I see you've got Davante Adams jersey on, man. A little bit of a throwback. That jersey is sick, dude.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite jerseys to wear on game day. It's the 100th anniversary NFL season. Davante Adams throwback. The Packers have done fairly good since I got it. I think I got it last year. So, since I got it, 26-6 in the regular season. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna say that I'm the reason the Packers are doing so well, but they haven't lost many games since I got it. But I'm doing pretty good. It was a long intro to the week, but we're here. I'm ready to talk some Bucks. I'm ready to talk some Packers, and I am so excited to talk about what made the cut. How are you feeling?
Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. I'm wearing a LeBron James jersey. We're always ready to go around here. Fresh off eating pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Hopefully it does not slow me down. Let's get into those Bucks games that you were talking about. So, as you know, we here at Make the Cut partner with the good folks over at Wisconsin Sports Heroics. Make sure you go over to their website at wisportsheroics.com and check out all of their great content. Both Napo and myself write for that website, and they're just terrific over there. So they have recently partnered with G5 Designs. G5 Designs is a Wisconsin-based merch company based out of De Pere, Wisconsin, and was created so that no matter where you live, Packers fans everywhere can have a connection back to Wisconsin and to the Packers. Our tagline, which I am a fan of and love as well, is one-of-a-kind shirts for one-of-a-kind fans, which, of course, could be more accurate to Packers fans. Yes, the Davante Adams jersey there, and all around the country we have fans, and, we really are one-of-a-kind fans. We own the team, the only team to have fans that own the team, technically, and speaking of the site, right now they have a bunch of really cool Wisconsin kind of Packers-based T-shirts. They have the awesome Aaron Rodgers Go T-shirt, which I will, of course, be purchasing as we get closer to the season as well. But you don't have to wait till the season. You can go there right now. Go online. We'll put the link in the description below of how to get to that website. And they're selling shirts. They got face masks. They have more, products coming, all at a great price. So when you are finished adding your purchase to the cart, please make sure you use promo code WISCO, all capital letters, WISCO, to get $1 off your entire purchase and free shipping. That's new, I think. I think the free shipping thing is new in there. That is, nice. Again, promo code WISCO, all caps, to get $1 off and free shipping. Link will be below somewhere in the video. And again, that is G5 Designs, one-of-a-kind shirts for one-of-a-kind fans. The NBA season, of course, moves along. It doesn't stop for anybody, and the Bucks kick off the second half of their season against the Knicks. Are 19-18 heading into Thursday night's game. So, Napo, what are the keys to the game and keys to victory for the Bucks against the Knicks?
Yeah, so I definitely think the Knicks were one of the surprises this year. Like, I don't think many people expected them to be as good. Like, right now, they're a playoff team, I believe, right? Was top 6 seed, right?
Yeah, yep. The East is weaker, but yeah.
Well, I did not expect them to do this well. I think the two easiest ways to stop the Knicks are to slow down Julius Randle. He had an all-star year. He's having a fantastic season. And then, of course, slowing down RJ Barrett. Barrett did not start the year off too hot, but in the month of February, he has been incredibly efficient, shooting 47.5% from three. That's ridiculous.
Jeez.
And then he's shooting better from three than he is from the field. He's shooting 46% from the field, 47.5% essentially from three. I mean, he is only averaging 14.5 points over that same span, but he's being incredibly efficient with it. And, the Bucks have probably the two best players in the league to stop these two players. You got Giannis, who's going to probably go up against Julius Randle. I hope to God he goes up against Julius Randle. I really don't want to see Brook doing it. And then of course
all the Brook hate all the time.
It's not. I love Brook, but he has lost
feet.
He has lost the step. He cannot guard the quick athletic bigs, and that's what Julius Randle is. So Giannis needs to be on him if they're going to slow him down anyway. And then, of course, we have Jrue Holiday, who looked close to his normal self in the last game against the Grizzlies, I believe, right? Where he hit that the nice game winner. So he looked a lot better in that game. He's had a few extra games and days of rest. So I'm hoping he's back to his normal self, and I don't think he should have too much of a problem shutting down RJ. I also think Dante will be able to have a shot at stopping RJ as well. I think the two of them should be able to handle the backcourt for the Knicks. I really don't see the Bucks having too much trouble with this game unless they just have a complete shooting meltdown or, God forbid, injury to Giannis, Chris, or Jrue happens. Like they've won 6 of their last 7, 6-1. They do look like a different team than what they looked like over that 5-game losing streak. Like they looked terrible. Yeah. At least in the last few games of that losing streak. Like the first couple were close. And you could count that like, oh, we're missing Jrue, we're going up against some of the best teams in the league, and we're losing by like 3. And then you just crap the bed and you look terrible. But 6-1 over the last 7. They're doing really well. I think if Jrue is back to his normal self, I really don't think it should be too close. I think the Bucks' talent is just so far above the Knicks. But, that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks did keep it close at least one point in the game. We all know the Bucks are probably the worst team in the league in the third quarter. I have no stats to back that up, but just from what I've seen, we'll be up 20 at the end of the second quarter, and then it'll be a tie game by the end of the third.
Yep.
So I could see the Knicks doing that, but I would 100% see the Bucks pulling ahead in the fourth. Just, if anything, just by the sheer willpower of Giannis, as he is the best fourth quarter scorer in the league right now. So I'm going to say that the Bucks take this one by double digits. How are you feeling about that game?
I'm just going to say the Bucks need to just keep doing what they've been doing. Like you said, 6-1 over the last 7 games. Jrue, as you also said, looks like he's getting back to midseason form where we need him to be for the playoff push. And I mean, when you look at the Knicks, they're a surprising team this year for sure, 19-18. I don't think anybody really could have went into the season expecting them to be, you said, a top 6 seed, right? Somewhere along those lines, even if the East is a little weaker. That's still a really solid season for them. And, the story with the Knicks is pretty simple. They are a very good defensive team. I believe the second best defensive scoring team in the NBA, or the best actually in scoring. How many points they allow against the opponent, but they are the second worst and lowest scoring offensive team. So basically what that tells me is, it's going to be a story of how well can the offense execute against that defense. Defensively for the Bucks, I'm not exactly all too worried about the Knicks. It's not just because of what the Knicks offensive ranking is. I think it's just when you look at the players that they have. Like you said, RJ Barrett shoots better from a 3-point percentage in February than he did from the field. Well, what that tells me is, with him and with Elfrid Payton and other guys on that team and Austin Rivers, those are 3-point shooters. Those are guys that, you just have to get out to the 3-point line and defend on. And Mitchell Robinson, not a great scorer. Terrific at the rim, not a great scorer. And I like Giannis's chances of guarding Julius Randle. I know on this show we are kind of, anti-Brook Lopez guys, but look, I like Splash Mountain. Okay, I think he's a 7-footer. He can hit threes, but the guy has lost a step on the defensive side. You said he can't guard athletic, quick bigs. He can't guard a fire hydrant at this point. The guy is just very slow. Okay, and it's a problem for if he's going to go up against Julius Randle, and we talked about how we don't want to see him on any of those, good athletic bigs, like you said before. So, I could see, like you said, the Bucks pulling away here pretty heavily. I think as long as we don't have that third quarter slump that you were talking about, I think we should be good. We are at home, which, even with limited fans, home court is still nice to have. And yeah, I can see the Bucks having a really hot game, on Thursday coming off the break. Everybody's rested. Drew Holiday, some extra days under his belt to kind of rest and get into practice and get, used to playing with the guys again. And I'm just hoping that Giannis continues his hot streak. I'm hoping he comes off of the amazing 16 for 16 game, like we mentioned, in the other episode.
3 from 3.
I want to see him shoot that step back corner 3 that he hit. That's a James Harden, 3 steps, somewhat of travel, but kind of not a travel 3-pointer that he hit. Let's start seeing some of those. Maybe against these weaker teams, he can start practicing some new moves that, he can pull off in the games. But in all seriousness, the Knicks are a respectable team this year. They've had a really great season. Julius Randle obviously is the main concern. Julius Randle, really quick, is having a fantastic year. And I always thought he had potential in LA. But I mean, the guy is averaging over 23 points, over 11 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, which is right around where Giannis is usually at. So that's really solid. The one thing I would say is that Giannis could struggle at the rim in this game. I think if he's able to hit perimeter shots, it's going to open everything up for him. But Nerlens Noel, a 7-footer with length, and Mitchell Robinson, a 7-footer with length, could give Giannis some problems down low. We've seen him have issues with Adebayo and other lengthier guys. He kind of tends to dominate those slower big men. But we'll see, man. I could see the Bucks winning this game big. I'm going to say 121 to 105.
I think we could also see Brook having a pretty big game because, if they're going to have their big centers, Mitch Rob and Nerlens Noel, trying to guard the rim, stop Giannis, they're just going to leave Brook wide open on the perimeter.
Mountain, baby. Woo.
If they're going to do that, I would not be surprised if Brook, he has his hot and cold streaks from 3, but if he's on, I wouldn't be surprised if he hit
40?
4 threes, maybe 40 points. I don't know if we're gonna see any vintage Brook Lopez, but
I Brook Lopez.
I wouldn't be surprised if he put up 15 points with 3 or 4 threes. I think that would be a pretty solid game from him. That's what I want to see from him, on an almost daily game basis. I'm really interested to see the battle between Mitchell Robinson and Brook Lopez. Because if Brook can win that battle, it would show that he still can guard those less athletic bigs. So when we look at teams up there, who do the Knicks or who the Nets have?
For bigs, you're saying? Yeah. They have DeAndre Jordan, Nick Claxton, who doesn't even play.
DeAndre Jordan's not really that athletic.
No, he's past his prime.
I think Brook, if he shows some promise tonight against, I would arguably say one of the best rim protecting young bigs in the league.
Yes.
Maybe just rim protecting bigs overall. Mitchell Robinson's a fantastic defender. If he can win that battle, I think that shows a lot of promise for Brook and his rim protection and just rim scoring over the course of the rest of the season into the postseason. I think this could be a turning point for Brook, this game, if he's able to win that game, that battle. If he's not, I don't know what to say.
Then he could struggle. It's possible.
I mean, if he does, hopefully he just stays on the perimeter and he knocks down his threes. Because I think isn't he shooting a career high from 3 this year? At least on the Bucks.
He's but on less attempts. But yes, he's shooting very well statistics wise. But he's not shooting as many. The first year he was here, he was shooting 6 or 7 a game, and he was hitting at 36 or 37%, which isn't bad. That's not bad for a big.
For a center.
For a big, that's pretty good. Well, Splash Mountain, that's where he gets the name from. But speaking of that, I just have a quick question for you. This is before we get into the next couple of games against Washington. Would you take Brook Lopez for DeAndre Jordan straight up? if you're a Bucks fan.
That's a tough one. I think DeAndre Jordan definitely gives more rebounding, and
almost anybody gets more rebounding in the center position. No offense, Brook. Just being honest. All right.
But the Bucks could use some more rebounding, but I think that rebounding needs to come off of the bench unit, because you got Giannis, who is going to get 10 plus rebounds nearly every single game. Chris gets his rebounds. I think Drew and Dante are both pretty good rebounders for the 1 and 2 position. Then you got Bobby Portis off the bench, who is rebounding at a career high this year. Pat Connaughton is a fantastic rebounder for a shooting guard. But, you don't have a backup big besides Bobby. Like, you need another good rebounding backup big. Like unfortunately, Ersan Ilyasova just got signed. So he can no longer be an option for the Bucks as a backup 4 or 5. But I think I'd take Brook. Even though the contract is DeAndre Jordan's contract's not as big as Brook's, I think Brook just gives you more. I think Brook's not a fantastic playmaker, but I think he's a little underrated at the playmaker position. Like I've seen him make like pretty nice passes for someone of his size and athletic ability. And of course, you can't take away that 3-point shot. And DeAndre Jordan is not going to replace that 3-point shot from the 5 position. He's just not. And I think a center to pair up with Giannis has to have some form of a jump shot. Yes. I think if your 2 starting bigs struggle from 3, you're going to have a little bit of a problem down the road. So right now, I think Brook is my guy over DeAndre Jordan. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I just wanted to quickly gauge that because we brought him up, and DeAndre Jordan, like you said, would add some rebounding. I don't really know why Brook Lopez can't rebound. Does he just not have a vertical? He doesn't.
He may not. He's also getting up there in age, so he may not be able to jump as well anymore. Like I don't know if you saw Giannis in the All-Star game when he was mic'd up. He's talking about, I can't jump. I can't jump this much. I'm jumping every single time I get the ball.
Yeah. No. So it's definitely. That's definitely a possibility, and also DeAndre Jordan, before they traded Jared Allen, was like a DNP, like 5 straight games. Like they weren't even playing him, so they're playing him by default because he's good buddies with Durant and Kyrie, which is I think the only reason why he's there in the first place.